Hi, how's everyone doing? This is HomeSongs4Life, number, too many to remember at the moment. Really pleased to have with us today Manus McGeehan over in Edinburgh, Les Oman, who's about 150 yards from me, and today, this night only, I think, Hector Space Cake, otherwise known as Davey McCallum. Good to see you all, guys, and we'll be with you all after this.
Every day's a good day to be alive. It's always a vintage kind of year. And every friend's a good friend to you or I, who doesn't disappear. But when the rider in the big blue sky, when the rider in the big blue sky, when the rider in the big blue sky brings something new to the table. Change, change, change.
So, as I said, welcome to everybody. With no further ado, we will head over to Mr. Davey McCallum, Hector Spacegate. Good to see you, Davey, and
Hey, Dave,
looking forward to hearing you a couple of songs, and we'll have a chat afterwards.
Yes,
I'm good.
thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Go for it,
the
man.
dry ice coming across me just now. That's my vape that's made that happen. Hello, everybody. At least we've got an audience. I know that Manus and Dave and my good pal Les Oman are there. It's a song about growing old. Not something I refuse to acknowledge. It's called Nearly Man. My mind at conversation, smoky room clouding all my dreams. Can I sleep without suspicion? The sky will clear, the echoes blend as one. I was the rock, but shook with confrontation. Shake with me a while. I'll please myself yet still return, shedding the clothes I wear. A thousand years and no resurgence, dwindling those chapters in the soul. Fall into that flock of no one. Its tongue mirrors many more. I will bleed the stinging tears of poison. Always have and always will. A nearly man so confident, scared to peek over the hill. Color me this tasteless man. Color me just as fast as you may. I break the mirror to find it's empty. Reading letters to find there's plenty more. And now the day is fine, the autumn sun reflecting on the Clyde. My guarded thought now turns to you. Smoky room, the comforts that are mine. I might went to do two straight away then, or just one and then wait for you to come back for Les. Doesn't matter. I'm going to batter on with another now that I understand the rules. Most embarrassing. Here's a song for you. A song I wrote with Richie Blackmore of Deep Purple. It's called Mistreated. That's just a lie. This is a song about making a social statement. Assess the situation, now my baby's in the dirt. Gone and had a few too many, he's gonna end up getting hurt. Think she's cooled the golden bottle, well it's filled with iron fire. Door shuts, another opens, come on baby, douse the fire. Only men should drink. Only men should drink. Only men should. Starts off the taxi bumper and the thing was standing still. The cabbie shouts, he gets no answer. She bounced off down the hill. Bloody mess with vegetation, yeah, there's nettles in her hair. Ripped her top and cut her ankles. She got a blind, wide open stare. Only men should drink. Only men should drink. Only men should. Conversation is red rag rotten poor. Drunken bomb, you ain't no fun. I can't love you anymore. Only man should drink. Only man should. Only man should drink. Only man should. Check the state of her condition. Now I walk alone. Sloppy words of condemnation are caring, loving ones. I'm gonna tell her to take a hike. She's a drunken slapper girl. But I walk 10 yards behind so that she is safely home. Only men should drink. Only men should drink. Only men should. Only men should drink. Only men should drink. Only men should drink. Only men should drink.
Sorry, I've just got to unmute everybody now. All these buttons I've got to press.
I was sure I heard Les Oman breathing heavily all the way through my set.
Well,
what's going on,
undoubtedly you did. Hey, great. That was lovely. Wonderful. You were saying before we went on there about the fact that you hadn't picked up a guitar for a while because you play with the band. You just basically you're singing. Yeah, but there's a lot. Yeah, but how many of the sort of songs you play on here sort of find yourself into your band sort of setting, or is it a different thing?
Yeah, it's a different thing altogether. It's just a self-creation type thing. That songs come out of rehearsals, so somebody will instigate something, somebody will join in, others will join in, and then I'll create a vocal melody over the top and then claim the whole song as my own.
Okay, cool.
That's what you do.
Aye. But obviously this is you've got this obviously more I hesitate to use the word, but sensitive songwriter thing going on as well though. So sort of what outlet do you have for that apart from just obviously playing the songs into yourself? And
yes, I just play with myself as often as I possibly can. But no, I mean I used to do the folk circuit back in the day as well. Even dallied with Mr. Oman up on the stage once or twice, have we not, Les? Or am I just dreaming that?
I think it was a bad dream, but it's probably true, yeah.
I've had the same bad dream, Dave.
He's something else. He just steals all the bleeding. You know, as a front man, I want all the glory, and Les just takes it all for himself, wraps it in a little ball, and throws it somewhere over the side. Astonishing presence. Astonishing stage presence.
Right, well, you're setting him up for a fall now because he's on a right after you. In fact, I think that's we couldn't wish for a finer introduction. So, Les, we're expecting something special now. You better deliver.
Rip it up, old man.
Anyway,
Cheers,
over to you.
Cheers, Hector.
Cheers,
no
Hector. Pressure.
No pressure. Okay, so I better take these off first. Yeah, a bit like Davey, I've not been playing this guitar very often recently, so I wasn't that sure what to play, but I've got a couple of things. So this first song, it's a kind of I suppose it's a revenge fantasy song, really. Sometimes when you're travelling about and you need to eat pretty quickly in somewhere like rural Perthshire, you'll jump into a place and you find that you've got to eat accompanied by some person singing karaoke, which was something I've never really got, karaoke. And, it's happened to me a couple of times, not enough to be a habit, but enough to, annoy me. And sometimes you even go further north and you get the kind of Scottish equivalent of a karaoke, that's horrendous. But anyway, I was sitting there one night halfway through my soup as some guy was giving it the Human League about 6 feet away from me, and I thought to myself, now, what if the boot was in the other foot? What would happen if somebody was forcing him to listen to karaoke by some strange avant-garde band? So let's say, for example, Soft Machine, who were a band that were at the heart of the famous English Canterbury scene back in the 1960s, and I thought, well, what if this wee guy's sitting having his dinner and then somebody comes in and gives you a full evening of the greatest hits of Soft Machine. That's a bit of a kind of cul-de-sac, because they didn't really have many hits, did they, if any? I don't know. So yes, I decided I was going to do this song called Soft Machine Karaoke Terror. So basically that's what goes on in the song. You'll find a few gratuitous mentions of Soft Machine titles, so if you're a fan you can amuse yourself by trying to spot them all. And I also mention an ex-member of Soft Machine, the late Hugh Hopper, who was a bass player who invented this really scary noise by putting his bass through a fuzz box. Quite singular sound and not to be trifled with. So anyway, without further ado, this is Soft Machine Karaoke Terror. I hope I can remember it. Sitting here in MC's place, my karaoke bar du jour, out on the town, out of my face, I'm ready to endure. Shall I sing the great pretender, or maybe burning love? River deep, mountain high, I just can't get enough. The evening's building slowly now, the first hour's nearly in, when the sweetie guy starts bleating to you, moon in June. Then the lights are swirling, the strobe is kicking in. I gaze at Esther's nose job as she sits there in the gloom. gazing straight ahead of me. I try hard not to scream as the ghost of Mr. Hopper floats by on a dream through the big French windows to set the music free. The spirit of a soft machine triggers memories, memories in me. My brain may be exploding with all the sonic strife and the death of karaoke and this chapter in my life. It hits me like a bullet right between the eyes, feeling, reeling, squealing, out of tunes, out of tunes. I quietly cry. So that was Soft Machine Karaoke Terror, and of course I was feeling quite smug about managing that, and then I discovered quite a revelation after I'd written the song. I mentioned Hugh Hopper there, and you might have heard me referencing, well, singing Memories, so that was a reference to a Hugh Hopper song which he actually wrote when he was still at school, and he recorded it with a band called the Wild Flowers, and they split and became 50% of them I think became Caravan, the band Caravan, and the other half became Soft Machine. Anyway, they wrote this song called Memories, and would you know it, it was the first song that Whitney Houston ever recorded. She recorded it as a session musician as a 16-year-old with a band called Material, and after she passed, a strange thing happened. There was a Malaysian singer called, now I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but it was Dato Siti Nurhaliza, and she's huge in the Far East and particularly in Malaysia, and she brought out one of these strange duet things, you know, that people do when somebody's died and they take their melody and sing a duet with it. Well, anyway, she made this recording in a duet with Whitney Houston as a tribute to Whitney once she had gone, and now would you believe it, it was a huge hit in the Middle East, and it's now a karaoke favourite, so what do I know? There you go. That's today's lesson, don't be smug. So this next one, I wasn't sure what my second song was going to be, but last night I watched a documentary on, I think it was the BBC Scotland channel, and it was called The Secrets of the Anthrax Island. Some of you might have heard me do this song before, but basically it's about an experimental, well, after seeing the documentary last night, really it was a mess. It was the UK government's attempt to invent a dirty bomb using anthrax, which they were going to, apparently the plan was they were going to get 5.4, I don't know how 5.4 million it was calculated, but they reckon they did 5.4 million linseed cakes to inject with this this compound that was going to be their dirty bomb. Then they were going to drop it on Germany, and all the cows would eat it and die, and then there would be a food crisis in Germany, and Britain would win the war. But what they actually did was they went to an island just off the coast of Wester Ross, about half a mile across Gruniard Bay from the village of Lade, and they basically turned it into a, well, it was Death Island it was getting called by some people. They took some sheep over there, and actually the documentary last night, for the first time it was actually shown to the public, it's just been unclassified. They actually had these poor sheep and they had them basically tethered so as they were facing this cloud of anthrax dust that was blowing at them, and the whole idea was to see how quickly they died. And then, you know, it was brutal. It's worth watching the documentary. But anyway, where I'm going with this is, of course, they realised then that they didn't need a dirty bomb, so they never did anything about it. They left it for over 40 years, just completely contaminated the island of Gruniard. And my brothers and I knew about this because my grandfather, although we never knew him, he was from just a wee breeze away in Gairloch, and they were all, you know, really uptight about this situation and very upset by it. And my mother passed that down to us. You know, when we were small, we'd be driven past there, and that's Gruniard Island, and you can't go there. And the reason is, so anyway, in the 80s, a group calling themselves the Dark Harvest Commando ended up leaving some threats that they were going to do something if Gruniard wasn't decontaminated. So sure enough, they headed down and left a little bucket of Gruniard soil outside Porton Down. They said they were just taking it back to where it came from, and it caused a bit of a stooshy, of course, as you would imagine. And then they discovered it had anthrax, and that really caused a stooshy. And then there was another bucket appeared a couple of weeks later near the Blackpool Tower, just where the Tories were having their annual conference. So you can just imagine how it all escalated, and magically something that couldn't be done before, which was the decontamination of Gruniard Island, it was gone. It was cleaned. It was no expense spared, and allegedly it's safe again. So the documentary explained all this. Nobody's ever managed to identify the members of the Dark Harvest Commando team, but I would commend them to you, and if I had a glass I'd raise it to them, because I think what they did, in spite of being made scapegoats in the papers and becoming the new public enemy #1, they did us all a service, I think. Anyway, I'm waffling now. You should watch it. It's on the BBC iPlayer, I think, for the next little while, so well worth a viewing, and quite shocking and candid. Anyway, so a few years before they appeared on the scene, I kind of came up with this sort of cobbled together version of, I always thought that The Dark Island was a gorgeous tune, but it wasn't actually describing the correct island. You know, Benbecula is the actual Dark Island as in the song, but I always felt that, you know, it was too nice a place to be the Dark Island, and it could only be Gruniard. So this is my song. I don't know if it's got a title. It's maybe The Darker Island or something like that, but please feel free to sing along when you get to the chorus. Way to the west, there's a place of foul pest, where not much is living and the air is impure, where the spores and the seeds of death daily breed, and the sun never shines on the dark island. Oh, island of Anthrax, where everything sleeps except for a weird stray of green mutant sheep. And the tourists all have to wear asbestos clothes. You'll get more than a tan on the dark island. germ of the Hebrides out on the sea, polluted forever just to keep Britain free. And the people of Westeros swagger with pride as they lovingly gazed on their dark island. Sing, Island of Anthrax, where everything sleeps except for a weird stray of green mutant sheep. Tourists all have to wear asbestos clothes. You'll get more than a tan on the dark island. Let's bid it adieu. For the big boys in Whitehall, we found something new. Alas, then Trident, who needs germ warfare? So we'll just let the sun set on the dark island. Oh, island of Anthrax, where everything sleeps except for a weird stray of green mutant sheep. And the tourists all have to wear asbestos clothes. You'll get more than a tan on the dark island. You'll get more than a tan on the dark island. There you go, thank you.
Thank you, Les. Excellent stuff. Right, so yeah, the Island of Anthrax is a sing-along. That's brilliant. That's all I can say. And I have to say, the other thing, karaoke du jour is my sort of lyric of the day, I think. My karaoke du jour, that's a cracker.
Karaoke bar du jour has, yeah.
Bar du jour, oh, is that? Oh, sorry, I missed it.
Yeah,
brilliant.
No,
It never ceases to amaze me, Les. I mean, obviously we've known each other a while, but the amount of background knowledge you have about all sorts of stuff, I think you should write something like the Encyclopedia Romanica or something. You should get started on that.
No, I think I've lost my niche now because I used to be quite good at Trivial Pursuit, but I don't understand any of the questions now. You know, so.
Oh, how's that?
Well, they're all about contemporary things, and you know, I'm in that cul-de-sac.
I see. So yeah, have you? Well, I know for a fact you haven't been performing much apart from these things, and you tell me it stresses you out. So, but we should get together and play sometime, don't you think?
I think it's probably a good idea. It's probably about time that we lanced that particular boil.
In fact, we should even do one of these at some point. We haven't done that. I think we're allowed, aren't we now? I can come over and.
We could try something, yeah. We could see how it goes.
Don't sound too enthusiastic. I can get the message.
I'm just going to get the locks changed. That's it.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Anyway, great to hear you as always. Thank you. And we're moving across to. Yeah, pleasure. Moving across now to Edinburgh and Manus McGeehan. How you doing, Manus? Good to see you.
Really well, thank you. And you?
Yeah. You're going to finish us off tonight. Looking forward to hearing your songs. As I've told you before, I could listen to your voice all day. And let's hope your sound stuff is all working.
That's not been put to the test, mind.
No.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think the problem the last time is the internet at my end was breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems to be okay at the moment, so here's hoping anyway.
Yeah, cross fingers.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, take it away, man. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Okay. Right. I am a couple of songs. This first one's called "I'm in Love with Ghosts." I can't quite remember the starting point for it, but anyway, it's to do with memory, but those kind of memories. Most people with a photograph tend to evoke memories, but they're all kind of sort of prepared, you know, in advance, sort of birthdays, weddings, you know, holidays. So this song is really about those kind of memories that you have within you that certain things spark them off. For example, things like when my son was really young, I pointed out a ship in the Firth. He said, "Oh, Daddy, there's pirates there." It was like one of those kind of moments. Some of the most kind of important moments in life. There are no photographs for, but they're still memories. So I've kind of sort of characterised them as ghosts. So this is called "I'm in Love with Ghosts." I'm not sure it's a complete thing yet. I've only just recently finished it. So here goes. Like the shadow of a tree in an avenue of memory, those shapes still dancing in the air, I hadn't realized, but I still hold them there. I'm in love with gold. And in my 4 seasons waterproof, that guards against the storm, made by scientists' dreams of rainbow, breaks the side of my tent as a boy. Adventures on the lawn, I'm in love with gold. Oh, in my duffel coat, 2 toggles down, standing in the rain, waiting for dreams. I'm never gonna cry like that again. Then from the shadows you appear, and then you smile that smile. That first kiss still on my lips, the ghost that still lives and breathes. And I'm happy to agree to the distinct possibility that there are pirates in the Firth, and just maybe Jump and you caught Superman. You're not gonna fly like that again. Behind the mirrors and the smoke, there comes a ghostly knocking on my door. Something solid to remind me of who I am and where I've come from. And everything that passed before still passes through me now and then. I'm in love with gold, gold. I'm in love with gold, with gold. I'm in love with gold. Okay, Ghosts. I keep upping the lyrics. I had the lyrics for that one because I wasn't quite sure of it. This one I've played before, but just once. So it's called Existential Love Songs. And it's like the idea of a love song being existential is in any time, given our times, seems a strange idea. And it's a kind of pastiche, different character. I lived in Paris for a few years, and a lot of that kind of 60s sort of, you know, whispers and jumpers and stuff. See, it still seemed to exist then, maybe that kind of intellectual way they go about things or whatever. So it's based on flightiness, I suppose you'd call it. So here we go, Existential Love Songs. Here she comes, we're existential love song. Heaven will know, she said. I say, I suppose. And everything is better in black and white and from a distance. If it's not there, she said, it's the end of the affair. In your silky silver with your beads and bangles, cool claustrophobia, not easy to fake. And in between the mirrors and cream, there's conviction and confection, smiling at something someone once maybe said, but it's all just speculation, and it's all just not going down, 'cause it's all in your imagination, played out, played out, played out in your existential love song. Existential love song, baby. Existential love song in the air. Even though you plainly waving, you're not drowning. Hard to believe your story holds any water. And in your dreams you're just a girl who's standing by the frozen lake. Oh, but the swans are out now that they're gone. she flicks her fingers through her hair, turns in despair to her existential love song. Existential love song, baby. Existential love song in the air. Yeah, your existential love song. Existential love song, baby. Existential love songs in the air. Existential love songs in the air. Existential love songs in the air. Thank you.
Cheers, Manus. That was great.
Cheers, thank you.
I'm getting a bit of echo suddenly. I'm not sure. Is your headphones plugged in there?
Yep, should be.
Okay. Yeah. How long have you been writing songs, Manus? Just out of interest. I don't think I've asked you that before.
Well, actually, I've been sort of dabbling. I had a few tunes, but I didn't do anything with them. And then last year I started. When I started doing the home songs, I wrote 24 songs in 6 months.
Great. Wow.
Yeah, I just went for it. I just decided to, why not? Just go for it.
Yeah.
So, and since then I've written about 2.
Okay. Well, yeah, still 2 albums at least in there. So
yeah.
Cool.
So,
Well, you've got.
yeah. Sorry.
And it's all right. What do you think, guys, about the voice, though? It's a fantastic voice this guy's got, don't you think?
Definitely. I was actually getting little sort of tastes, hints of Mark Bolan there for some reason, which I didn't understand. But it was, it was. But do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was. I could imagine him singing existential love songs.
Ah, right, I never thought about it. You always worry sometimes when you write stuff, you think, well, who's that sound like? You know, you're always worried it sounds like somebody else, but I don't know.
No, I wasn't meaning that you
No, not at all.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, superb. Anyway, I'm glad you got inspired anyway, so hopefully we're going to hear all those songs at some point. But,
well, I think you probably have most of them, because the problem is I've only ever played them once, and that was home songs. So.
Okay. Well, you know, you really should find a bar in residence in Edinburgh somewhere, and I'm sure you.
That's possible now, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah. Get back out there.
If I lived in Edinburgh, I'd be a regular. So I promise you that.
Oh, that's very kind. Very kind. Thank you.
And regards to everybody, to be honest. Some karaoke bars, but I would listen to all of you doing karaoke any day of the week, and in fact your songs being done as karaoke.
Only if we were having soup at the time, but
well, yes, obviously, yeah. Yeah. It's been a pleasure, and it always is, just to hear everybody's playing, but I love the variety and just to chat. And it's always a pleasure for me, and I'll keep going as long as people keep being polite and coming back. So I'll just say hi to a few guys who are here tonight. Julie, Anne, hi, Laurie, Keat, hi, Gary, and Rosie, and whoever else is listening. We thank you all for being here, and if you're listening later, thank you as well. Take care, everybody. I will be asking you again, obviously. Whether you like it or not, and we'll see you all soon.
Okay.
I'm going to do the end broadcast thing, which takes about 5 seconds to go off. So in the meantime,
thanks for asking us.
Wave gormlessly.
Thanks for organising.
Yeah, thanks for asking us.